That group policy setting is only one of the very long list of those that you can see here. And I don't want to go through all of these because there are a variety of different approaches that different organizations use for how updates get deployed. So there's no one right or wrong answer for how you end up configuring all these user experience settings, but they're all here to kind of help you essentially tailor down how much control you want to provide for users. But there are just a couple here that you absolutely have to have because they're the ones that just simply turn on WSS on the client side. The first one here is this one called Configure Automatic Updates. It is this setting that lets you configure automatic updates through what you're probably used to seeing on the clients themselves. So notify for download and notify for install versus auto download and notify for install versus auto download and schedule the install. Again, different organizations will choose different ones of these because they want to provide more or less control to the users in participating in the update deployment process. Most often, IT just simply wants to control that process in whole. So you'll see this number 4 here as being the setting that's configured here using group policy. Down here, we have another checkbox that allows, in addition to the scheduled install day, which can be either really any day of the week or every day, and then also the time, whether or not you want those clients to also install during automatic maintenance. Now, automatic maintenance is defined as, if you're going to scroll over here to the right, as any time that the computer is operating, but the computer recognizes that it's not really performing any activities. Notice here that it says automatic maintenance will install updates when the computer is not in use and avoid doing so when the computer is running on battery power. So the idea here is that this gives you the abilities to get those updates installed a little more quickly when that machine may not be in use. Now, there is one thing you have to be really careful with when you're configuring this setting, because back a couple of clips ago, we configured the synchronization of the server itself to occur at 3 in the morning. Well, we want to make sure that the clients then synchronize with that server at some period after 3 in the morning. So I want to take care here to ensure that the scheduled install time is going to be at least enough after the synchronization time so that there's time for, well, the database to get updated on the WSS server and then for the clients to request information from that database. This care that you have to take with timing gets even more important when you start having multiple servers that are tiered together in a hierarchy. As you can imagine, the first server may grab things from Microsoft at 3 in the morning, and then the downstream server may grab it at 4 in the morning, and the clients need to grab it at 5 in the morning. So pay careful attention here to what time of the day you end up configuring these different settings to occur. I'll choose OK to configure this, again, the master toggle switch, and then I want to show you the other option here, which is to specify the intranet Microsoft Update Service location. In order for our clients to find our WSS server, we need to point them into the correct location, and that will be the WSS server itself in what is a very strange syntax. HTTP, server name, which in my case will be file 1, and then the port number that is used for the clients to attach. Now, in early versions of WSS, this port number was port 80 by default, or could be port 443 if you were using SSL. But in more recent versions, these more recent versions now use port 8530 as the default port, as opposed to port 80. One reason, at least as I've been told, is that if you think about the different kinds of attacks that are out there, many of those attacks may propagate over port 80. And so this relocation of WSS onto a different port helps you in those situations when the attack you need to patch yourself against is happening on one of those classic 80 or 443 ports. Now, in any case you're configuring the update service location, you probably also want to configure down here the Internet Statistics server where reporting information is sent back to the WSS server. These two in combination are what are necessary to request the update metadata from your WSS server and then to report back on the success or failure of any installations. Now, as I said, these are just a couple of the long list of possible group policy settings that you can configure here. And I don't want to go into too much detail of all the other settings, but the main gist of what these intend to do is to provide you a spectrum of control for how you want to present this to the users as you go through update distribution.